Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, an even bigger welcome. I hope you are all doing well. I'm really hard to get videos out every Sunday, or pretty much every Sunday. Not gonna lie, I wanted to film this video at the beginning of the week, but I was struck by the flu. So I've had the flu all week, which has not been ideal, but I'm finally feeling like a normal human being again. I got up this morning, tidied my whole room, actually had energy, showered. I feel like genuinely a new woman, and I'm so happy because it's my last 2 weeks left in Bali and I spent a whole week in bed pretty much. So but you know what, nothing we can do about it. Grab yourselves a cup of tea, a glass of wine, anything that you want. If you're watching this in the morning, probably a nice coffee or a tea, but if you're watching this in the evening, get yourselves a glass of vino. This is going to be my first ever relationship, well, it's not a relationship dilemma video, it's like relationship advice. I mean, do not ask me why I'm doing it. Like, I am no relationship coach, but I've had a fair few relationships and I've been through a lot of the motions. So, and I often get asked loads of questions about how to handle things, what to do. I'm in this situation, can you help me? I never get time to get back to all the questions. So I thought, you know what, I will stick it all in a YouTube video. We can go through some relationship situations. I don't know what to call this video. They're not all relationship dilemmas. There are just a lot of genuine questions on like how I would do things and how I dealt with things. Relationship advice video maybe? I don't know. I put a little box on my Instagram for you guys just to put in any dilemmas, situations, advice that you need, and I thought I'd just answer some of the questions that I got on here. I did try to pick the ones that got kind of asked the most, like the most similar ones, just because that way I know that the majority of you kind of want to know those questions. I have put my hair up so I don't fiddle with it as much, so pray for me that I don't go edit this back and I'm constantly touching my hair, because I do know that I have a serious issue with doing that. I also want to say a big thank you, because I've now got nearly 20,000 YouTube subscribers. It's like 9,700 and something, and I'm like, oh my god, think about it, 20,000 people. That is like a football stadium of people. That's a lot of people watching these videos, and I normally get around 20,000 views as well. So I'm touching my hair. Thank you so much, guys, and especially to you guys out there who've been here since the beginning. I also looked at my YouTube the other day and it was like my second birthday on YouTube, and I was like, that is so cute. I've actually been on YouTube for like 2 years? Yeah, 2 years now, which is mad to think. Actually over 2 years now, but I still love doing YouTube and I love chatting to you guys. I feel like you're, I don't know, my friends. Excuse me, just passing out here, just dying. I've also got massively the sweats. I'm literally just, I'm sweating and I'm sitting under my fan. Anyway, let's get on with this video. Please note, she is no relationship coach. I am no professional. This is just my own opinions and how I would handle things and what I would do. We are all different. We all do, and all scenarios are different. Obviously as well, I don't know the details of some of these situations. I don't know the ins and outs. They're just snippets. First kind of video I've done like this. So if you are enjoying it and you like it, let me know, because I can always do more. God, who do I think I am, honestly? Love guru. Because I'm in Bali, I feel like I'm some sort of spiritual relationship advice woman. Okay, right. First question is, and I'm going to keep them all anonymous just because I actually got some messages being like, please can you keep this anonymous? So I just thought, you know what, I'll keep them all anonymous. Sorry if I'm sniffling, I know it's so unattractive, but you're just going to have to bear with me. How to get over obsessing over him. You know he wasn't right for you, but you can't stop thinking about him. Right. This one, I thought it was quite interesting, because we've all been there where we know the guy doesn't want to be with you. We know that the relationship's not going to happen, but you still can't stop thinking about him, and like you just can't get him out of your mind. And I personally think if you're like thinking and obsessing over someone, the easiest way to get over that is to keep telling yourself, like, hang on a minute, why the hell am I obsessing and thinking about this one person who doesn't even want to be with me? Like, what is the point in putting all my energy and my time and my efforts into doing that? So why am I letting him consume my mind when I'm not going to be consuming his mind? Like, almost being quite frank with yourself and just being like, he's not thinking about me, so why the hell am I letting him consume my mind? Each time he pops into your head or you're thinking about that person, I would genuinely switch your mindset. Over time, it will just disappear. And also, when someone new comes into your life, it will massively disappear as well. You won't actually end up thinking about him at all, and you'll look back and you'll think, God, what was I even thinking about this guy for? You know? I actually got this question quite a lot of times, and I think a lot of you girls and guys are going through, or have been through, I think everyone's been through at some point in their life, is to how not to go back to an ex-boyfriend. And a lot of you have asked me, like, how did you not go back to Harvey? How did you not go back to your ex? How did you stay so strong? And you know what, the trick is just know your self-worth. It really is. I just had to keep reminding myself, you know what, I deserve so much more, because genuinely, like, I really did, and I know I deserved more. I don't deserve someone who disrespects me. I don't deserve someone who cheats, especially when I didn't do any of those things to them, you know. There was me giving a lot of respect and him giving no respect. So in my head I thought, I don't deserve this. And you just have to keep reminding yourself. I always looked into the future. I was like, what do I want my husband, the father of my children, to be like? Do I want this type of person, or do I need something completely different? And ultimately I needed someone completely different. Like, you just have to keep remembering, and it is about respect and self-worth. Like, you deserve so much more. Don't tolerate it, don't stand for it, because it's not okay, it's not on. And once the trust is gone, the relationship is totally gone. And that is the honest truth, you know. I personally believe if there is no trust, there is no relationship, because you can't, even if you tell yourself you trust them and you deep down you don't, it will never work. It hasn't got longevity. That's my personal opinion, and just remind yourself of that. And I do also think that the reason why I didn't go back, and I was able to move on so quickly, is because I think mentally he had pushed and pushed and pushed, and I got to the breaking point. It'll push you away, push you away, push you away, disrespect, disrespect, disrespect. This isn't always cheating, by the way. This is just doing things like no compromise, no communication, other situations. This is like a whole list of things. But each time you're not taking on board what I'm saying, you're not respecting me, you're not respecting my wishes, you're not compromising with me. Each time they do that, your respect levels like go down and down and down and down, and you get to a point where you wake up and you're over it. I actually always tell my friends this, because my friends are always like, if their boyfriend does wrong, or they're disrespecting, or they're just being complete arseholes and they're so not in the right relationship, I always say, no matter how many times you tell your friend that it's not right, one morning she will genuinely wake up and like a light bulb will happen. And until that moment, you can't tell that person. They just have to figure it out for themselves. And it will be one day your mind will just switch. It's happened to me twice or 3 times now, where I've woken up one morning and I'm like, actually, do you know what? I'm done here. And I don't know if that's just me being like the way I am, I have no idea. But I just switch. When I know there's no respect, and I know I'm wasting my time, and I know this isn't my future, deep down, like if I'm being brutally honest with myself, I just switch my emotion off. I'm like, okay, I'm done now. I've given you enough, and you're not giving it to me. You're not giving me what I want. You're not giving me what I need. So see you later. And thank God I did, because it turns out he was cheating anyway. Do you believe in right person, wrong time? I'm not sure about this one, because I do think timing is so important. Like, timing is key, but right person, wrong time, I'm not sure I believe in, just because it's quite black and white, relationships for me. It's quite simple. If they are going to work, and if they are meant to be, they will be. If they are going to work, they are going to work. Like, it will work if the universe, and if it's meant for you, it is going to be for you. And if it isn't, it isn't. Move on from it. Doff your hands, see you later. Move on to what actually is meant to be for you. If you think it is the right person but the wrong time, there's a reason for that. It's like life telling you, you know what, now's not your time, girl. You need to still be single for a few years. You need to travel the world. You need to concentrate on yourself. You need to get that job you always dreamed of. And you'll look back and you'll go, oh, that's why that relationship didn't work out, because if I was still in that relationship, I wouldn't be as happy and where I am right now. And you'll look back and that will genuinely be the thing. Well, that's happened to me. Like, I had a relationship a few years ago and I always thought, oh, the timing on this is just not the one. And I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, that's why. It's because even though we got on so well, me and this ex-boyfriend, and we had a lovely little relationship, it was the wrong time. But there's a reason for it to be the wrong time, because I wouldn't have done half the stuff that I've managed to do if I was with him. I personally think that there's a big reason behind right person at wrong time. My dyslexia then. Oof. Okay, so this one was, how do I find people? Meaning, like, how am I finding it? And I got this one a lot, like, how do I date? How do I find the one? And I'm not gonna lie to you, girly pops, it will happen when you least expect it. I personally believe sometimes looking too hard and trying too hard and thinking in your head, I have to find someone, I need to be in a relationship, I need to find love, like that, honestly, it's not the best. If you let it go, if you're at peace with being on your own and you actually tell yourself, you know what, when the time is right, the time is right. Someone out of nowhere will randomly pop into your life and it will be so unexpected and so beyond bizarre, and you'll be like, wow, this is so weird. Honestly, it's happened to me before. Like, if I really want it and like I stress about it, it's almost like I put so much pressure on myself. Advice for this would just be take a step back and wait, because someone will fall into your life if it's meant to be. The next one is how to get over an ex. The most simple answer to this question is time. Honestly, time is such a healer, and I know it's quite cliche to say, but it genuinely is, and it's the best advice I can actually give anyone, is just give it some time. Keep yourself busy, get yourself into like a really nice routine. Honestly, when I had been through all my breakups, there's been a fair few, I always think to myself, you know what, I'm not going to sit in bed and wallow in my self-pity. I'm going to get myself up and I'm going to make myself the best version of myself I've ever been, so that man can look back and go, or look at me on social media, or look at me thriving in life and go, oh dear, lost a good one there, didn't I? Like, I honestly think that. I think it all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna make myself the best. So if any of you are going through a breakup right now and you're watching this, get yourself out of bed tomorrow, dust yourself off, to-do list, write an aim of what you want, and just get glowing, girl. You gotta get glowing. You want people to walk into a room and you go, oh my God, you are glowing. Like, what are you doing? And you know what? It's called self-work. And over time, you will get over the ex. Keep yourself busy as well. I always keep myself so occupied so I don't actually have that much time to think about that person and what's gone on. You have it. So, my advice. This one made me laugh a bit. The fact that I just want to be on my own and everyone gives me the ick. And to be honest, do not worry. I have so many friends who are so content on their own, and when the right person comes in at the right time, they won't want to be on their own, and that person will not give them the ick. They just haven't found the correct guy yet. Do you think it's actually really healthy to be really content on your own? And maybe you just need a bit more healing time if people are still giving you the ick. It's just, trust me, the right person, they could genuinely throw up and poo themselves at the same time and you still wouldn't get the ick, because you just love them and you just like, they're the ones. So yeah, the right person would not give you the ick, trust me. Feeling guilty for breaking up with someone, what's the best way to move on? I think just having clarity in yourself at the fact that you've actually broken up with them and you've been the bigger person and you've been honest and you've been truthful. It's so, like, it's such a good way to be in life. Like, if you're just honest with yourself and your emotions and honest to that person, like, thank God you broke up with them. And you need to keep remembering this, because at least you're not leading them on and letting them like overthink and question themselves and, oh my God, was it me? What did I do? What have I done wrong? And it's like, no, it's nothing to do with you. It is me, and I'm being honest, and I don't want this relationship. And trust me, if you hadn't have broken it off, you would have ended up cheating, you would have ended up doing things that would hurt them so much more in the long run. That is why being truthful, being honest, being open, and that person on the other side who you are breaking up with would actually respect that a hell of a lot more. So do not feel guilty, because you've actually done the right thing. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 4 years. I love him but see no future together. This one's quite, again, you really have to be honest with yourself. And if you are with someone and you see no future with them, personally, my personal opinion is I genuinely would cut it off, because why waste your time? You know, why would you bother wasting your time and wasting the other person's time? Be honest, be truthful, and cut it off. And I know it's hard, and I know it's so much easier said than done, but life is very, very short, and you don't know what tomorrow brings. So I would just be brave and cut it off and get on with your own life. And actually, in the long run, like, it means you've not wasted any more time, and you can actually find the right one that you see the future with, and so can the other person. Do you trust gut feelings? Personally, yes, I do. I think my gut feelings are super strong. I think women were given gut feelings for a reason. There was a reason us lovely ladies were given this. Yeah, trust your gut always. Follow that gut feeling. If something doesn't feel right in your tummy, in your, like, something's just not sitting well with you, trust it and own it. Own that trust and be like, something's not right here. I don't feel it. Sorry. I don't buy it. My boyfriend has been cheating on me for years. I feel like I will never be able to trust again. Now, this one kind of resonates with me, because I have been cheated on. I mean, most of us have, let's be honest. And I actually, when I went into my new relationship that I'm in now, after being cheated on, I was thinking to myself, like, how can I ever trust again? Like, how do I do this? And I called my mum, and my mum literally said, and it will stick with me forever, and she was like, Emily, trust is always given. It's just whether they take it away. So you have to, and it isn't fair on the other person or the new relationship if you don't go into it with trust. It's not fair on the other person, because technically at that, like, they have never done anything to you. So you have to go into that brave and confident. And I know it's hard, but you have to go into it, and you have to give them trust. And until they take it away, it has to be given. And she was so right when she told me this, and it literally has stuck in my brain so much, because I'm like, how am I ever going to trust a guy again? But I really do believe, for the right person, a boy won't cheat. If they love you and they honestly want to be with you, and they respect you and they care for you, they will not cheat on you. That is my personal opinion. I don't think there's love there if they cheat. Or respect. Like, how can they love or respect you if they cheat on you? It's a lot of conscience, a lot of things to go through. There's a lot of like conscious moments that you go through to be able to cheat on someone. You have to talk to a girl, you have to invite them back, you have to actually cheat. Like, there is so much to it. Even conscience, when you find messages on a boy's phone, you know, they've purposely replied, like, they've thought about it. It baffles me. I don't get it. Do you delete Instagram photos of your ex? I don't delete any Instagram photos of any of my exes, and this is because, and this is my reasoning for it, right? My Instagram, I've had it for so many years. That is my life. These are my stages of life. It is almost my journey. Hate that word, journey, but it is my journey of life. Like, and each ex of mine has actually been a part of that. I don't know, they've all been a part of my life, and I don't delete them because I don't feel need to. I'm like, oh, okay, that was that stage of my life. Oh my god, remember when I was with him in that stage of life? That's a bit of a laugh. Like, I don't know, they're memories. So no, I don't delete them, but other people do, and I kind of do understand why. It's because they just like, they can't bear to see it, and sometimes it's easier and almost like a coping mechanism for other people. Totally do understand why people do delete Instagram photos, but my personal opinion, I don't, because I don't know, they're all part of my journey. It sounds silly, but how do you get used to not talking or seeing your ex every day? And I don't think that is a silly question at all, because honestly, when you break up with someone, I can only explain being heartbroken as genuinely like losing someone. It is like that feeling, like, you know, when like I know this sounds really deep, but when a family member dies, it's the same feeling. It's that mourning, it's the loss. You are going from someone who you had in your life all the time, 24/7, talking to, seeing, and they've gone. Like, it's so weird. I actually look back at loads of my relationships and think, oh my god, imagine speaking to that person every single day and seeing them like most of the time. Like, it baffles me. But the truth is, again, time. Like, you just get used to it. Like, you get used to talking to them and seeing them every day. You get used to the reverse, and soon they just become a distant memory. I know that sounds awful, but it's true. It's time. Again, I feel like I talk about time a lot in this. You manage the first few weeks of your breakup? I guess honestly I've kind of already answered this, but every time a negative thought came into my mind about the situation, or I ended up getting sad, I did this thing where the thought would enter my brain and I'd feel a certain way, and I'd switch it, and I would make it my sadness and my anger, and I'd switch the emotion into excitement. And I used to psych myself up. I used to tell myself, oh my god, how exciting, like what a new lease of life I'm gonna get, like what adventures am I going on next, who's gonna be my next boyfriend, how fun, I can fend for myself again, I can work on myself. Like, I just used to think of all this positive stuff, and it made me feel so much better. It really did. I was like, wow, try it, trust me. If you're going through a breakup for the first few weeks, when you're feeling sad, have your sad moments for sure, let yourself cry. Crying is healing. But after a while, like 2 days, but that's me being an absolute savage when it comes to emotions. I'm not the most emotional. You know, say to yourself, no, not gonna cry one more tear over this guy. I'm going to actually turn that emotion and make it exciting. Oh my god, what does the future hold? Who is going to be my next boyfriend? How fun I can date again. I can go out with my friends. I don't have anyone to worry about. Life's great. I used to just psych myself up. So if you're watching this and you're going through a similar thing, try it tomorrow. If you start getting sad, think, no girly pops. I'm actually really excited. I'm really positive, and I'm going to smash life, and I don't need no man. Trust me. Then a man will jump into your life and you'll be like, uh-oh, here we go again. He's been seeing a married man for 6 months. He has no intention to leave his wife. Should I date someone new? And the answer is yes. Run, 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 girl. Seriously, like, these men, they cannot have the best of both worlds, and you cannot allow that. Get rid. If he's even admitting to you that he's never going to leave his wife, why are you wasting your time? You deserve so much more. You deserve someone who is going to want to show you off to everyone, want to hold your hand when you walk into restaurants, not have to hide you, want to post you all over your social media. Married man is not a vibe. Yeah, run for the hills, baby girl. Run. It's not worth it. What a waste of time. Trust me, I know it's easier said than done, but it's not a vibe. Do you think long distance actually works, short or long term? I actually think long distance does work at points. Like, there's FaceTime now. Away from Jordan, I know it's not long distance, we've not done months, but we've done weeks apart, and thank God for FaceTime and communication. If you're with someone who is brilliant at communicating, that it definitely can work. I would just make sure that, you know, every few weeks you are seeing each other, but long term, maybe not. If you're talking years that you're gonna have to do this, it probably does become quite boring. But if you're talking months, it can absolutely work, especially now with the technology that we have. It depends on the circumstance as well. Like, it's totally individual for different situations. Okay guys, I think that is all I'm going to do for this video. But thank you so much for watching. Like I've said, these are all just my personal opinions and how I would deal with things. I hope this has helped some of you, and if you're watching this and you're going through heartbreak, promise you it gets better and you find the one who is literally the most amazing thing for you, and everything happens for a reason, girls and boys, and trust the process of life. God, I'm such a guru today. I actually feel alleviated. So thank you so much for all your questions and all your dilemmas and all your situations. Lots of love.